Let me first off just say, this is not a funk tutorial. This is a drift funk tutorial. Drift funk has been blowing up since 2021 from TikTok, and it's a subgenre of funk. Drift funk normally has heavy 808s and cowbells with loads of distortion. So if you want to learn how to do that, then stick around. By the way, if you end up enjoying this video, please do subscribe. I'm trying to hit 4,000 subscribers. Also join my Discord, it'll be linked in the description. Anyways, let's go on with the video. Okay, there'll be a drum kit which will be the first link in the description, and in that drum kit you'll get all the acapellas that you need, all the drum sounds, and every single thing you need to be able to make funk music. So once again, if you want to get that, it'll be the first link in the description. Okay, so the first thing you want to do for making drift funk type of music is you want to get a bell or a cowbell. And in my drum kit there'll be a ton of different bells that you can choose from, and all you got to do is just choose a cowbell that you think is good. So the cowbell I chose sounds like this. And when making a funk type song, if you're going to use an acapella, then when you're making the bell, make sure that you listen to the acapella whilst doing it, just to make sure it's all in key and stuff. So this is the acapella that I used first, and it sounds like this.
Pull the trigger back, pull the trigger back, pull the trigger back, watch the bullet smack his throat.
And for that, I just added an EQ and cut off all the highs and all the lows. And then I just went along and made a kind of melody with the bell that I have. This is how my bell sounds with the acapella.
Pull the trigger back, pull the trigger back, pull the trigger back, watch the bullet smack his throat.
So that's pretty simple because I just want to keep it simple for this video. But if you wanted to, you can make it way more complex and have like sliding notes and like really fast notes. That's all up to you, but I just want to keep it really simple so you can understand for this video. Then once I added this cowbell 808, I added a drum loop, which you can also get in my drum kit, and this is how it sounds. And all I did was boost it a bit because it was a bit too quiet, and also time stretched it so it was on the right time. And by the way, if you don't know how to like time stretch samples to the actual BPM, you just press this stretch button up here. Make sure you have this selected, then press stretch, and then just stretch it so it fits your BPM. Yeah, and that's it for the hi-hat loop. Then next I added another hi-hat, and once again this is from my drum kit, and this is how my hi-hat sounds. And to make these rolls and stuff, all you want to do is you want to go up to this little magnet tool up here, and then make it to like 1/2 step or 1/4 step, and then just place notes like that, and then select all of them and hold down Alt and scroll to turn on the velocity so it's not like overpowering. Also, to make the velocity go like this, like up, you basically just hold right click when making the velocity once you have them all selected, and you just drag it up like that. So the next thing I added was 2 snares. So first I have this snare which sounds like this, which is a kind of realistic sounding snare. Then I also added this metallic snare, which I thought sounded really good with the actual beat. And I also added this one extra note here, but this is how mine sounds. Then I added a kick, and for the kicks, you want a kick that's really like clipping and really, really loud. So this is how my kick sounds. And I also turned up the boost just a tiny bit to make it a bit more boosted. And in the velocity of the kicks, make sure to have them like maxed out, because you can always adjust that later in the volume. But this is how my kick sounds like. And then finally for the drums, I added this 808, which once again will be in my drum kit. And this is the pattern of the 808. It also switches and goes up an octave later. So yeah, this is how my 808 sounds. And for the effects for the 808, there'll be a preset which will be in the drum kit, in the 808 section. And basically you can just drag this on, and this will just give you all the effects you need to do for the drums. But I'll quickly go through and show you what I did with the 808s. So firstly, there's this EQ, which just boosts the highs and boosts these like quite a bit to make it so you can actually hear it in the mix. And then I also added this distortion plugin, and I also added a sound godizer, turned it up to here, and I added another sound godizer on A and turned that up to the max. And these wave shapers, basically all you can do, if you want it to sound a bit more gritty, you can just turn these up and it will make it sound a bit more like bit crushed. Look, I'll show you now. So yeah, you can just mess with those if you want it to making it sound a bit more like distorted. And this one makes it sound more boosted and like heavy. But I decided for this track to keep it off. So once you have that, this is how your track should be sounding.
Pull the trigger back, pull the trigger back, pull the trigger back, watch the bullet smack his throat.
So yeah, and then once you've done that, what I normally want to do is, because you don't want to keep the same acapella the whole time, is find another acapella and time stretch it to the same key and the same BPM, and then just add it so it switches between different things. So this is how my second acapella sounds. And that just has the same effects as the first acapella sound. And for this bit, for this change, all I did is all the drums are the exact same. apart from the bell, which I just changed a slight bit to make it seem a bit more interesting throughout the whole track. So this is how my second cowbell sounds. So yeah, once you've done that, that's basically it for the majority of it. All we have left is mixing and arrangement. So for the mixing, I've shown this in other videos, but basically what you want to do is you want to hold down control, select all of your tracks, so like this, and just turn down all the volumes so around here. And trust me, this is honestly one of the best ways of mixing your tracks because you can really get the volume levels like perfect. So once you have it all turned down, what you want to do is add a limiter and then go up to this gain and max that out, or make it as loud as you think it should be. And if you want to, you can mess with the seal. For funk tracks, I would like not have the seal like actually clipping and like making it cut, but if you really want to, you can. It's all personal preference. But yeah, I'll just now show you what like I do when adding the limiter. And then yeah, from there, basically what you want to do is you want to have the kick being one of the loudest things in the actual track. So make sure to have your kick quite loud, and the drums don't want to be too loud because you want the bell to be going through. So make sure to have the bell and the acapella to be, and the kick to be one of the loudest things. And then also for the 808, you don't want the 808 to actually be that loud because the kick should be the main thing that actually comes through. So make sure the 808 is not louder than the kick. So around here will probably be good. So yeah, that's it for mixing. Now let's move on to arrangement. So for my arrangement, I didn't actually make it a full track because there was no need to make it a full track because I'm not going to actually publish this. But I'm just going to break through on what I did and stuff. So basically I made this intro here, which I messed around with the tempo, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So basically I have this intro, then I have the main like bit, then I have this little FX, which is like a car sound, and then I move on to the second thing. But yeah, now let me show you how I do the tempo thing. So if you want your track to sound like this as an intro, basically all you want to do is you want to go up to your track BPM, right click and press create automation clip, and then you should get one of these tempo things, and then just go by the part that you want it to speed up from. So I want it to end speeding up here. You just press right click right there, and then you bring that down, and it's as simple as that. If you want to, you can mess around with this, but that just makes it so the track slowly speeds in. And then I also added a isotope vinyl effect just for the intro, and basically this is just a free plugin that you can get yourself, and it's very helpful for making intros and stuff. So what I did for the isotope vinyl is I went over to the year and made it into 1930 and upped the output gain and down the input gain, and then I just have that playing for the beginning. So you see I created an automation clip and just had that playing for the beginning, and then cut it off when the beat actually drops. And then finally for the cowbell, this is optional, but just to keep it interesting, I added a shaper box, and all this does is kind of like gross beat. All it does, it just messes around with the actual sound and like chops it up and stuff. So I just used one of the presets. Yeah, but once again, this is optional, but this is how it sounds with the shaper box. And yeah, that's what the shaper box does. And then finally what I did is I got the acapella and just chopped it up a little bit for some parts of the beats, just to keep it a bit more interesting and keep it like moving well. But yeah, that is the simplest way to explain how to make a funk type song/beat. If you did enjoy, please do subscribe and like. I'm trying to hit 4,000 subscribers. Also, if you want to follow my TikTok, go join my Discord and follow me on Instagram. But yeah, without further ado, this is the full song.
LTJ made this one.
Pull the trigger back, pull the trigger back, pull the trigger back, the bullet stack is broke. Pull the trigger back, pull the trigger back, pull the trigger back, the bullet stack.